Happy Friday, everyone. Welcome back to our YouTube channel here. I'm Matt Moy, Vincent Arroyo Family Winery winemaker. And we concluded with our vineyard tour series last week at the Grand Street Ranch. And we figured let's get some more videos going for you guys to see what's going on at the winery and how we're getting ready to hopefully open back up soon. We haven't got any notification yet in terms of when the tasting rooms can open, but we're counting on that happening pretty soon. In the meantime, we have made some changes around here at the winery to make sure that everyone is safe when they do return. And as you can see, I'm out in our rose garden. This is our newly planted grass, so it just got put in this week. We got some new picnic tables, as you can see, if I can get that right. So when we do see guests, we are able to wipe down all the tables after they leave, and so we can keep everything clean here. We'll probably be doing most of our tastings out in the rose garden to start with. As things progress, maybe we can move back into our tasting room, but at least for the first couple weeks, maybe first couple months, we will be out here. And fortunately, it's summer and it's beautiful out. We're here in a beautiful day in Calistoga. It's a little warm, but we have the umbrellas for shade. And what I thought I'd do during these tours as well is introduce you to some wines that we just released. Most of our wines, as you are aware, are released in the fall and with the futures. But we came up with a new white blend this year. And so that's going to be our Melange Blanc. So this is our new white. It's the 2019. Actually, you probably could see the label there. Okay, so it's 2019 Melange Blanc. It's 50% Sauvignon Blanc, 50% Chardonnay. We used to make a pure Sauvignon Blanc here for the past couple years under our High Point label, but we decided to focus all of our wines on the Vincent Arroyo line. So we decided to come up with this second white that we produce. Like I say, it's a 50-50. We get a lot of people who come to our winery sometimes that don't drink reds, so it allows us to have that second option of a wine besides our standard Chardonnay that we produce. Both the components, the Sauvignon Blanc and Chardonnay, are barrel fermented at the beginning of the process, and then they are blended together after the fermentation. Basically, we don't go through malolactic on this wine, so it's going to be more of a crisper wines. The Sauvignon Blanc gives it that passion fruit that we like in that Sauvignon Blanc. But when the wines are combined, it's put into stainless steel, so we don't have any extra wood other than the fermentation wood on this particular wine. We have it under screw caps, so it's a great summer wine. Let's see if we can get this opened up one-handed here. Hold on here. Sorry, that was a two-hander there. So back to our Melange Blanc. We'll pour a little glass here. It's great summer wine. It's going to be great for the hot weather that we're seeing here today. You probably want to serve this a little bit chilled. It tastes great room temperature, but I think you chilled it, especially around the pool. That's kind of the nice thing about with these screw caps is they're easy. You don't need to bring a corkscrew with you when you take them out to either your picnic or barbecue or out on the lake. It makes it pretty easy. And for this wines, you're not going to probably see us aging these very long. So again, the cork serves really no purpose in terms of what we're going to be wanting from this wine. But again, I do see that passion fruit. Having that 50-50, you get a little bit of that Chardonnay acidity that I like that we see in our standard Chardonnay here. But this is a Melange. We do make the Melange Reserve, as some of you may have in your cellar. That's the red blend that we do. So this is kind of a play on that same type. Instead of doing the Melange Reserve, we have the Melange Blanc. So hopefully, if you haven't had a chance to order some, it's on our website. We are shipping wines right now. A lot of it's going through our temperature-controlled UPS shipments. So if you are interested in something like that and you want to make sure it gets to you safely, you can give the winery a call, and Amy or Adrian or someone in the office there will be able to tell you how the best way to get the wine out to wherever you are in the U.S. So let's go back. I'll show you our new tasting room. It's not new, it's just reorganized, and we'll try some more wine in there. Okay, so here we are in our new tasting room. You can see we have our new table that David in the tasting room had made for us. You can see it's pretty amazing. We have a lot more table space to be able to work with customers here in the tasting room. Used to be over there in that corner. Now we have these amazing shelves that David actually did himself as well. So you can see we have that going on. So as you look around the tasting room, it does look like things are in different spots, but it's still the plain plywood walls. We did repaint the floors so they're nice and clean. And we do still have our olive oils and whatnot, but like I said earlier, we'll probably be doing most of our tastings out in the rose garden. We have iPads that we'll be using to take orders. You won't need to sign anything. You can do everything contactless, so it'll be pretty safe in that regards. As you can see, our when you walk into the room here, we actually have our hand sanitizers, our gloves, making sure that everyone who comes through the door is safe and is clean. We are going to probably ask that you come in masks for a little while. Our employees will all be wearing masks and gloves as they take care of you. So it's just some of the new normals that we're going to have to work with for at least a little while. But we are trying to be as safe as possible and also make sure you have a great experience. I mean, I know a lot of you who come to our winery appreciate what we do here. And hopefully a lot of you leave really happy with the experience you've had with our tasting room staff and everyone else that works here with us at the winery. But we haven't changed in that aspect. The stories are still the same stories, just a little bit different in the terms of how we interact with our customers. But we're gonna have some fun with it. Let's try some more little wines that we have on the table here. So here's our tasting room table that most of you remember. Another wine that is new is our 375 Chardonnay. This is gonna be 2019. We have our 2019 750s coming out to you in the fall like they normally do with the futures. But we figured the 375 is a fun package for the summer. You can throw those in the ice chest and take them to whatever function you want to do. We also did these under screw cap as well. But this is the same Chardonnay that'll be coming out this fall. So it's a sneak preview to the wine you possibly will get coming starting in September. The 750s are just being stored in the warehouse, where the 375s are ready to go to ship to you today. So if you're interested in the small bottles, I selfishly kind of pushed for these because oftentimes when I'm out grilling, I like to start with a glass of white wine and move into the red. I often feel guilty opening a 750 for just one glass of wine, so this is kind of my guilty pleasure of having at least consuming the wine in one setting versus that 750 that probably ends up having to go back in the fridge for another day. So I'm gonna stop this real quick and open it up. I learned from the melange we have to use two hands to open these things, but I will be right back with them. Okay, so here we are with the little baby 375s. They're kind of cool little bottles there. Again, that was in the under screw cap, so no corkscrew needed. We'll pour a little glass here. Try the Chardonnay. So this is the 2019. Barrel fermented like we did the melange components. This is 100% in new oak while it's aging, or while it's fermenting. After the fermentation process, 80% goes up into stainless steel, 20% stays in oak, and then right before bottling, we blend them back together. So and no malolactic. So this is gonna be a crisp green apple style Chardonnay. We like to call it a white wine for red wine drinkers. It appeals more to, we find, the red palates. It's definitely your summer Chardonnay. It's not heavy, it's very light. Again, some people prefer it chilled. But this is the 19. I think this is one of our better Chardonnays. It just is just amazing. The components. We grow a little bit of Chardonnay on the estate, but for most of it comes down in the Carneros area. And we tried out a new patch from our grower that we buy from down there. And that's with the 2019. I mean, it's very similar to what we've had in the 18-17, but it's just the flavors that you're getting out of this Chardonnay are just so intense and you just want to drink it. So it's going to be fun. If you do have 750s on your order for the futures in the fall, You will be getting those, and they will be shipping out starting in September. But if you're anxious and you want to get a jump start and you want to maybe try it out before those 750s arrive, then give us a call, get online. It's 375s are available. I believe it's $16 a bottle. The alcohol is 14%, and they're a lot of fun. So hopefully people will gravitate to it, and maybe we will start doing some more other wines in the 375 packaging. But we'll see how the Chardonnay goes, and you guys enjoy. We have one more wine to try, so let me put the camera down and get to that, and we'll try one more wine while we're here in the tasting room. Okay, we're back with our Rosie's Rosé. Rosie is our black lab that you may have met while you were here. She's the tennis ball queen. She's very sad right now that no one's here throwing the ball for her, so she's moping actually upstairs in the office. But this year is a new varietal for Rosie's Rosé. Up till now, we've been using the Syrah, which I talked about on the Greenwood Ranch series, which is on the driveway. So some of that Syrah goes into the Entrada, and then we were using some of it in our Rosé. Now, Rosé is made a little bit differently than most of our wines, in the sense that when we pick the grapes, whether that be Syrah or this year it's Pinot Noir, the grapes come into the winery and we stick them strictly right into the press, very similar to what we do with the Chardonnay. The press cycle is about 3 hours. So during that 3 hours, the juice is being pushed out of the grapes themselves, touching those red skins and tinting it that pinky color you're looking at. So basically the 3 hours of touching the skins, and then we ferment the juice in stainless steel. So it's pink right out the chute. And then we'll ferment it and then keep it in stainless steel until it gets bottled. And so in the past, we had Rosie's Rosé, this is the 2018, which is one that we released last year. You can see the darker color due to the fact that the Syrah grape skin color at contact makes it much darker. We were looking to try to see if we can get it into a lighter style rosé in terms of color. So this is the 2019 rosé, made out of Pinot Noir. If you look at them side by side, let's see here. You have the 2019 and 2018. You can see that the 18 here is much darker, and that's basically due to the fact of the color of the Syrah grape. So we this year decided to go lighter, and the only way we could go lighter for us was looking at the Pinot Noir grape. And for those who know Calistoga, it's way too hot for Pinot Noir up here. So we don't own Pinot Noir, we don't grow Pinot Noir, but we buy it. And we actually buy it from the same people we bought that Sauvignon Blanc and Chardonnay from down in Carneros. Unique thing this year was kind of fun because I'm learning more and more of what we're looking for in terms of rosé, since it's fairly new to the winery. And I wanted to get the alcohols down because I feel like rosé is definitely your summer wine that you want to just enjoy by the pool, out on the lake, at the beach, be able to consume the bottle and still be okay. And so this year we did something different, and when we chose the Pinot Noir, we actually picked it at the same time that our neighbors who grow sparkling wine or make sparkling wine picked their Pinot Noir. So we picked this really early. I want to say this was picked in early August. And when you pick early, as I said in earlier episodes, you get less sugar. Well, less sugar is meaning end result, less alcohol. So this one has 11.4% alcohol. It's probably one of the lowest alcohol wines we have ever produced here at Arroyo. And like I say, it's made out of the Pinot Noir grape. So let's try some of this here. This is available now. It just got released with those other wines, so you can find it on our website or call the winery and get this order as well. So this, I get a lot of strawberries. Very prevalent strawberry. Right, easy drinking rosé. This is what we've been looking for. So super excited that we finally found what we think is going to be the future of our rosé program. We only did, let's see, 5 barrels, which actually wasn't really barrels because it was stainless steel, but that was the equivalent. So that's about 300 gallons. So it's not a lot, 100 and something cases maybe we did. So we'll probably go pretty fast, especially Rosé Day is coming up, June 13th, I believe. So maybe you can get online and get some of this wine so you can enjoy it next on the 13th with everyone else on National Rosé Day. I guess every wine now has a special day, but that's coming up. One other thing about the rosé we did, and I'm gonna come around the corner. You may have noticed it in the beginning of my picture. There's a keg in the room. It's not beer. We actually did some kegs of rosé. I've been trying it out at my home, and I have a little kegerator there that we tapped into, and it's great wine by the pool, and it stays chilled. It's 5 gallons, so it's not your 15-gallon kegger, so you can get through it pretty quickly. If you do have it in a kegerator, we suggest that you tap it with some sort of gas, whether that be argon or CO2. One caveat: if you do CO2, it starts to turn sparkling because the CO2 gas goes into solution. So my wife, Adrienne, as you all know, loves sparkling wine, and so this was one way of making it for her artificially with the CO2 gas. So I know her recommendation is stick it in the kegerator, wait a week, and then the bubbles start to show up in the keg. So, but if you aren't having a kegerator and it's a manual tap, 2 or 3 days is going to be max in terms of using this particular wine. But if you do put it in a kegerator, it can last a couple months. So that's something new. We only did, I think, 20 to 30 of them, I guess. And so they'll probably go pretty fast. But if you do have a kegerator, if you want a keg of wine, like I say, they're fun for gatherings. Unfortunately, right now we can't have gatherings, but they're fun to have. So we did do the rosé in kegs. We may try to do some other wines in kegs going forward, since that seems to be something that people are gravitating to. But for now, it's just the rosé and whatnot. And that too is available online or through calling the winery. And Amy can get you the details about getting that keg out to you and whatnot. Or the Rosie's Rosé, which is in the 750. We have the 375 Chard, and then the 2019 Melange Blanc, which is the Sauvignon Blanc Chardonnay blend. We also still have our library open. It'll be open probably for another month or so. So there are still great wines to be had from there. Like I said earlier, it is getting warm, so we do have options in getting the wine to you safely, even during the summer. So don't think that because it's hot you can't get wine. There are options, and they're not that expensive compared to what you may think that might be. So it's definitely something to think of. We are anxious to get going and seeing people here at the winery, and we are taking precaution of keeping everybody safe. And we think once we are able to open those doors, we would love to have you, and we will definitely make sure you know we are open to go once the green light is given. But until then, I just wanted to give you guys a little tour of the tasting room. Like I say, it's still the same tasting room, just things in different spots. But I think it's going to be fun. You can move around this room a lot better. And David did an amazing job, like I say, on this tasting bar here that he made with wood here at the winery. And then of course he also made these shelving that we have for the different wines, which pretty awesome. So he did a good job with all these little projects we've been working on. Teddy and Mario, they're working out in the rose garden area and getting that all taken care of. Amy's busy getting people's orders taken care of and shipped out safely. And fortunately, Adrienne's still at home with the kids. School's out, so that part is good, but summer camps are on hold, so we're still balancing life like most of you out there, and but we'll get through everything, and we're excited, like I say, to see everybody. So hope you enjoyed this little tour and tasting, and if you need to order any wine, just give us a call or get online. VincentArroyo.com, 707-942-6995. Hopefully we'll do another episode next week. You guys enjoy your weekend, stay safe and healthy, and until next time, cheers.